next thing they need to decide is location. So why don't we talk a little bit about choosing a location? We do specialize, like our favorite thing to do is to marry couples in Central Park, right? So let's talk about that a little bit, and then we can talk about some of the other options that we also offer.
So I love Central Park for many reasons, and I equally dislike the Brooklyn Bridge as a ceremony location. And the Brooklyn Bridge is a popular one for photos. A lot of couples would like to do their ceremony there. I always discourage them from it because of logistics. Again, all those things that people don't think about. You see in the movies, it looks great. You see the music and the little, but it's all BS. That's not the reality. When you are there, it smells, it's loud. It's
so busy. It is so busy. Just walking over, the traffic underneath,
trains
the subway.
are always passing by, and you can take the train. There's always people there. You're not the only one who likes the New York City skyline. So you and everyone else will be there trying to take photos. There's
bikes. People are biking.
I do not like, and it's just that one spot. It's not like Central Park. You have so many places to choose from. So my opinion is for the ceremony. So you can go there to do photos, of course. You do the pictures. But for the ceremony, you want to have a place that is private and it's romantic. It is 10 minutes of your life. It's the only 10 minutes that it will be you and your spouse together, alone, professing your never-ending love to each other. And do you really need to be in the little, what do you call it, that little beach there, and with the trains passing by and the tourists passing by?
Oh, you're talking about the Brooklyn Bridge Park right there? Yeah, it's not very big either, and there are always people there. Yeah, it's
such a mistake.
It's pretty rough.
It's such a mistake, and I despise it. I don't take jobs there. Usually I send someone else. If someone hires me for that, I always send another officiant because I hate it. That's me, is my person. So someone called me yesterday and she asked, and I'm like, why are you asking me? So well, you're asking me my opinion? I said, well, I don't like Brooklyn Bridge. I would definitely recommend Central Park. And I said, because of the privacy, you can pick your spot, you have quiet, and the photos that you can have in Central Park are actually romantic. They are about you and your spouse. They're not about, the New York City, sky.
Yeah, and the park is just so beautiful naturally. And you're right. I mean, we have a lot of popular spots in the park where people can get married. I think the number one spot is the Copcot. It's that little rustic wooden hut. It's got vines around it in the spring, so you get shade. There's seating built into it. I think that's one of the few spots that has seating. It holds up to 60 people. So yeah, I mean, we've got that.
That looks like a church. I mean, it's outdoors, but it looks like, it has
like a little chapel. Right.
The only one that really looks, and you can have as many people as you want. And 60 people, have 100 people. That's another question that we usually get. How many people can come to? It is Central Park, guys.
Anybody can come.
Anybody. Right. You can invite 200 if you want to. Nobody's going to stop you. Do you think park rangers are going to come and say, oh, who was invited to this wedding? Nobody cares. People, and you just, the same way you're going to have, bystanders or tourists come and take a peek, whatever. Nobody knows whether they're your friends, nobody cares.
I kind of like that, though, when they're tourists and there's people hanging out in the park. People get excited when they see a bride and groom coming to get married. It's like you're a celebrity for that hour that you're there getting married. It's pretty cool. Yes, but does Terrace, you got married there.
Yes.
And that was beautiful. I mean, you've got the fountain there, the arches.
Yes.
My dad got married at the West Drive boat landing, which is really cute and private, and it's right on the lake. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so there's a million places. So once you decide, if they don't want Central Park, we've had people just get married in Times Square. They wanted the hoop. That was pretty cool.
And then we have a few venues too. So if you want venues, you can go the traditional way. But honestly, I mean, if you're going to do it in New York City, why would you go inside some room, right?
Right. I mean,
so that's what the venues that we offer are usually rooftops, so you can still get a feel of New York.
For New York City, right? I mean, and the rooftops here, the ones that we use, just have this amazing view of St. Patrick's Cathedral and Midtown skyline. Yeah, so it's really nice.
Yeah.
All right. So, okay, so location. So we ask them, pick your location. Don't ask us. This is up to you. This is your decision where you feel that you want to express your love and exchange vows. All right, so once they do that, time. What time of day should they pick? That's another consideration that we ask our couples. You know, some people want, I want to get picked up by a limo. I want hair and makeup services. They want all these things prior to the actual ceremony. And then they want the ceremony at 9 a.m. It's like, are you going to get started at 3 in the morning?
With the Christmas wedding, we have a wedding now coming up on the 24th. They booked it months ago for 11 a.m. And now, 2 weeks prior, they changed their mind. I want to move it to 1 o'clock. We can't move it now because
there's no permits.
Right.
Right.
So people that come from outside, from other cities, other towns, other countries, they got it together. They know what they're doing. They know the date, the time, the place. And
they have their itinerary all planned out for their trip.
Don't change anything.
Right.
The people that hire us that are New Yorkers, Queens, Brooklyn, Bronx, whatever, and they're planning their wedding with us, they change so much, all of them. In general. And the reason is why, because they have their family and their friends here. They're all local. And everybody is having an opinion and putting their 2 cents about what they can do.
Well, and what I will say to New Yorkers that are watching this video is that, you know, we have people, they say, oh, I'm coming from Queens, I'm coming from the Bronx. Okay, well, how are you getting here? If you're coming through the subway, you need to make time. You need to time it. I always beg them to consider just getting a hotel for the day, you know, the night before, so that they wake up and they can walk across the street to the park. So back to the factor, and that is that we want couples to really give it some thought about what time they want their ceremony to begin. Consider transportation, consider how many guests you're getting there, consider the location, and just be aware of all these things that need to happen before your ceremony, and pick the right time for you.
What you have to consider the food, right? So when do you want to have a lunch? Do you want to have dinner? If you're going to have dinner, then yes, 2-3 p.m. would be ideal. You don't want your guests like waiting around. It's so awkward for wedding guests, you know? It's always awkward. You want to minimize their
time just hanging around, right? So, okay, so we've talked about time, location. How about, what else do we ask couples to consider?